basically gonna have a laptop next to him and
Right.
play 2 games at once. If that's
Here we go. So Gerry Thompson leads off with a creeping tar pit. All right. So I guess we
So,
already kind of know.
That answers that question.
Will's got a Celestial Colonnade for his first turn. We got a Dark Slick Shores into an Inquisition of Kozilek from Gerry.
Yeah, here we go. It looks like this is the it's a great opening for an Esper deck because you can steal their turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic or or Sword out of their hand now or Squadron
Hawk. He's got right
in
there.
this
See there,
case,
there we go. So that's a
it looks
4
like
for 1 right there.
I mean, Squadron Hawk is a 4 for 1.
Yeah.
Gerry taking it, I guess you could call it a 4 for 1.
You know what I mean? A
I do
virtual
know,
4 for 1.
A virtual 4 for 1, fair enough, right.
If the guy doesn't draw another one, he's basically got no action for like the first couple turns here.
Yeah, I mean he can basically.
He can also take the leak and protect his spells later.
Right, or the preordained to keep him from getting.
And he
the
takes
action.
the leak.
Goes with the leak, right.
And then he preordains with his other mana. Sees looks like a hawk. Ships 1, draws the hawk, passes the turn.
So now Gerry obviously knows, unless Will top decks some more permission, Gerry has an opening to play if he can get some white mana.
Will plays that Plains and gets that Squadron Hawk.
Yeah, so Gerry now has an opening to, and I
up
see
two.
he's got a Glacial Fortress in his hand, so he has it's just not going to come into play untapped.
No, it's not.
But
I mean, if he's going to run a, oh, it's right. Yeah, he's going to lose. He's not going to have his white source for holding the turn. That's unfortunate. He's going to probably preordain into hopefully into a land that comes and play untapped. Oh, he's going to second Inquisition. All right. He didn't even reveal his hand there.
No, he just took a preordain. He just said, "I want the preordain."
Huh.
Yeah, that was a little quick.
Well, maybe he drew. I mean, maybe he knows what cards are in his hand and he'd seen whatever it was that he didn't use it.
Wow.
Draws the other preordain. Alrighty then. Is that a Spell Pierce? I believe that was a Spell Pierce in his hand there. Ships both. Does not like it. No, sir. I don't like it. And another Hawk comes down, and it's going to search up the 4th Squadron Hawk.
Seems to me that the fact that Gerry just kind of stumbled on mana right there really may have.
Well, he just bounced back with the Jace, so not too shabby. And he's going to brainstorm with the Jace. He sees a Plains, like Dark Slick Shores, and a Glacial Fortress.
Does he have double Gideon in his hand? I think that's Gideon, something else, and a Plains.
I saw a Hawk in his hand. Yes, double Gideon, Hawk, Plains.
Brad Nelson was talking about Gideon in his article, like how good Gideon is right now. In the mirror.
Yeah,
and then
Gideon
of course
is so good right now.
against aggro decks.
It looks like they might be reprinting Gideon in M12 if that artwork that they showed was accurate. So Will drops a 3rd Squadron Hawk. Gerry brainstorms, sees a duress.
Yeah, the wallpaper of the week yesterday for Friday was a Planeswalker spread, and it seemed to imply that M12 will have Sorin, Jace, some version of Sorin, Gideon, Jace, Chandra, and Garruk.
It seems to me like they would just print the regular versions.
Right, the Lorwyn versions or
the originals, and then the
Sorin
original versions
Gideon.
of the Sorin and Gideon, yeah.
It's a possibility, so.
I think that, I forget who I was talking to, but they were saying that triple black for actually might have been Glenn last night, was saying that like triple black for a core set Planeswalker just seems kind of unreasonable, but I mean like a lot of, mono black is a pretty popular choice for casual players. So he fetches up a Plains.
Yeah, he took that Jace down to 1 counter with the Squadron Hawks. Will did, obviously.
And here comes our man, Gideon Jura, a.k.a. Triple H.
Yeah.
Triple H comes from a respected pedigree of white planeswalkers. Sorry, couldn't help myself. All 3 of Will's Squadron Hawks,
Coming in
per Gideon's demands, attack him.
Yeah, that allowed Gerry to get another brainstorm in. So.
Yep. He's going to protect that Jason out the Jace.
Yeah, it's
the
one
he sure
thing.
Can't attack it.
Right, it's one thing Gideon can't really stop.
Right.
Is the seal of Jace kind of thing.
That is one thing that the red version of Callblade can do, is burn it out if a Gideon comes down, burn out the Jace.
Yeah. Looks to be, Will's just playing the classic blue-white version of Callblade. At least I haven't seen any indication otherwise.
Yeah. Gerry gets in there for 9.
Yeah.
And plays a Squadron Hawk, searching up Team Hawk.
Right, in this case, he's got no Jace to protect, so why not slam in there with Gideon?
Mm-hmm. Searches up a trio of friends for our Squadron Hawk.
Right, and he's got that his own Squadron Hawk to block just in case a sword does come down and one of those Hawks of Will's picks it up.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to check. Okay, so Will comes in with all 3 Hawks. No sword.
No sword.
Do you think he's going to follow up with Seal of Gideon here?
Who knows? I didn't see his hand. He's holding his hand.
Yeah, his hand's kind of off camera.
So,
yep, Seal of Gideon.
Good call, but see, we know Gerry has.
Yeah, Gerry has
his
a
own
second Gideon, so he's going to just follow right back up with another one.
He's got a land.
Lather, rinse, repeat.
Right. Now, let's take a look. I wonder if so Gerry hits his land drop, and so that gives him the opportunity to play Gideon and leave open mana for a mana leak if he wants to keep Will from playing a second Gideon.
Nice.
Not that Will has it, but yeah. So he's got mana leak mana up. He pumps the +2's the Gideon, so that Gideon will take the heat this turn.
And he's just gonna get a snap right back with the. Well, yeah. I guess he could chump block with the Colonnade or something next turn if Gideon tries to come through.
Right.
But at this point, he might just not even let him do that. He might just keep up in the Gideon and beat in with his tar pit.
Yeah, it seems like a decent line of play. It's still it's a 4-turn clock unless he can get in with the. Well, she can get in with. Actually, it's a 3-turn clock because he's got his own Squadron Hawk.
Right. So Will has preordained here. Again, we can't see what's really in his hand right now. He's protecting them pretty good from our cameras.
All we know is he does not want to be dazed.
This is true. Well, I would love to be dazed in the situation he's in right now because that would be an automatic game loss for his
Attention
opponent.
Magic players in $10 draft number 1. $10 draft number 1 to the event stage, please, where Judge Dan is going to get you started.
Will comes
Once again,
in with
players
the
in $10 draft
3
number
Hawks,
1
taking
the
Gideon to
event
5.
stage, please.
Trying to talk over the announcement. Trying to keep the commentary rolling.
Yeah, like it's hard to tell what. And I see Day of Judgment in Will's hand. And he tilts it so I can't see. It's almost like he heard me.
It's like is that preordained?
Man, we're leaning to see his hand.
Yeah.
It's an impossible thing to avoid here in the booth.
So he goes with the 4th Squadron.
Okay.
That'll at least, save a little bit of, you can trade a Squadron Hawk here. I mean,
Something, yeah. Team Hawk.
All right, so now we're going to get to see Will's hand, hopefully.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so that is
Sun
a
Titan and a day. Of course, he has to take the day.
Right. Now that Gerry knows he has Sun Titan, you may want to hold that. You may want to keep that in mind for his mana leak, obviously. Is at the moment.
Yeah, if Will doesn't have a land right now, so Will would need to rip another land. Or no, I'm sorry. Well, if
he
he had
to rip 2 lands.
2 lands, good point. Not bad. Okay.
So Gerry's safe from that Sun Titan for a while.
All right, he's only going to come in with the 1, but he's got a second tar pit that he drops down, holding up the mana leak mana.
Yeah, and here he's following that same line of play that you had mentioned was, +2 Gideon to to keep Will's squad tapped down and preserve his own life total, and then just get in there with the tar pit. So really, he's got two turns right now. Like Will has 2 turns.
Yes.
John Grandell for competitive Commander Chaos number 2. Commander Chaos number 2, John Grandell, please come to the judges stand, please.
Now, Will may have just ripped a mana leak of his own.
That's why I was saying he needed a second land, was to mana leak the mana leak.
I see, but he obviously would need the mana leak to do that.
But he needed mana leak too, so it's kind of impossible at that point. Yeah. But he's going to go in with the kill Gideon plan. He's going to get chumped by the Hawk. Obviously. Right. He doesn't really need that Hawk.
Yeah, it seemed like a good plan. Save Gideon. Now, if he plays Mountain Bolt here, that would be that'd be pretty interesting.
I know, right? Okay, and he scoops
obviously
him up.
not likely.
All right, so we know that Gerry is firmly in
the Esper camp,
the Darkwing Duck plan.
So, all right, we have the deck lists here actually. Yeah,
oh, great.
This is I didn't want to look at them during game 1. I thought it was more fun to watch. So Jerry's got obviously he main decks 4 Inquisitions. His Black Splash is for 1 Duress, 2 Doomblades, a Go for the Throat, and 4 Inquisitions. And of course Creeping Tar Pit, which won him that game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's one of the stronger cards, or one of the stronger reasons to go with the black version, because I mean that's Creeping Tar Pit is just one of those. It's a lightning bolt every turn, right? I mean, costs a little more, but takes care of the planeswalkers, and obviously can beat in for the win while Gideon sits there and protects you.
This seems like a really strong list on Jerry's part here.
It does. I agree. He's got the Doomblades and the Go for the Throat. So that's just 3 main deck removal and 5 main deck discard.
So for his sideboard, he's got 2 Memoricide. Do you think he brings those in for like Squadron Hawks or
you mean
Gideon?
For opposing Squadron Hawks?
Yeah.
I mean, he obviously knows that the will is on classic blue white. So that's a Memoricide to me is one of those iffy cards, and I know we talked about this. I believe Gavin and I talked about this on in San Jose.
Yeah.
And it's one of those topics where like, is a 4 mana discard spell really worth it, especially if it's not even in their hand,
Right.
I almost feel like it's not. I don't like Memoricide. I feel really iffy on it. But Evan Irwin was talking to me at DC, and he felt like Memoricide for Squadron Hawks, or Memoricide for for Stoneforge Mystics, is a really good play. So maybe maybe that's something that Jerry's going to do. Let's see, he's got Flash Freeze, he's not going to bring those in, or Cork Firewalker. He's got a Celestial Purge, not likely, not coming in. He's got another Duress, which I think he may want to bring that in. He's got a Sun Titan of his own, and Divine Offering. So I think he can bring in the Divine Offering and the Duress to take care of the Divine Offering, obviously for swords. Duress just to assist in that same game plan as we said earlier, with the stripping the opponent of their turn 2 of their sword, or inquisitioning them for either the sword or the Mystic or Squadron Hawk. Duress isn't obviously as strong, but that's why he only plays 1 main and 1 side. But I think that's a decent option. Obviously, it can strip the opposing planeswalkers as well, like Jace, and in this case, Day of Judgment. He used his Duress for Day of Judgment. So I think that's really all he wants to bring in. Possibly Sun Titan, if he's expecting Will to go after his own, go after his swords and things. And I wonder if he.
We didn't see swords play much of a
No,
factor in that
swords
game at
were
all.
did not play much of a role. And it's notable Jerry is actually playing 2 main deck Sword of Feast and Famine, and no other swords. I'm just double checking my statement there, but it looks to me like no other swords, none in the sideboard, no more main. So that's his only weaponry, so to speak. On the other hand, we look at Will's list.
He has
Mortar Pot in his sideboard.
Mortar Pot. Yes. It looks like the game is actually underway. So all right. So
All right. So Will leads off with a social colonnade, and Gerry follows it with a creeping tar pit.
Yeah, Will has the mortar pod for the
If you were in
a
Chaos
mirror
Commander
breaker.
number 2, could you raise your hand for us, please?
3 divine offerings in his deck, and a Sun Titan. These are all in his sideboard, so and a
All right, Chaos
sword of
Commander
body and
number 2,
mind,
just past the feature matches.
all
Thank
of which
you.
I think may come in, possibly.
Okay, so Gerry has preordained. He sees a Doomblade and or actually drew the Doomblade. I didn't see what else he saw. So Will follows up with a preordain of his own. And a Stoneforge Mystic. So here we go.
All right, so
Now
now
we've got some equipment into the battle.
yeah, now Gerry has a discard spell. Good time, yeah, good time for it. There you
Yep.
go. So there we go, Will, nice squire.
So we've also got Day. I believe that's the divine. Is that Divine Offering there? The third card over. I think it's the new one. Sword of Feast and
Yeah.
Famine, Mana Leak, and a Jason Mind Sculptor.
Sorry, he just did mine.
Michael Laws, please report to the right side of the feature match area for your Commander Chaos number 2. Michael Laws.
Takes the Jace. Goes with his own Squadron Hawk, Stoneforge Mystic, and he searches up Body and Mind. So we know Will's got both equipments in his hand. Will passes the turn, holding up either Mana Leak or chance to vial in the one of his swords at the end of turn. And Gerry passes back. End of turn. Doomblade in response.
All right, so now Will's got a sword and no guy to grab it.
Yep. And Will plays the Plains. Jason. For a second, it looked like Will had a Force of Will in hand.
That would be a win for Gerry.
Yes, it would. Looks like Jerry's a little mana flooded, if that's possible when you're trying to equip man lands with swords. So Jerry's going to activate the Tar Pit and swing in for 4. He appears to wisely be playing around Divine Offering at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he knows it's there, so...
Right. And down comes a Hawk. Calls a couple of his buddies from the deck. Don't worry. The bird puns are just getting started this weekend. Searches up 2 of his fine feathered friends. I guess it's better for him to hold up Mana Leak mana right now, or Divine Offering, obviously, than to, or he's going to equip it.
All right, so he's...
His Tar Pit is not affected by that. Tar Pit can come right through that.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so... And here we go.
He's gonna battle here.
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it's because Will's tapped out and he's got an opportunity to.
chumps with the 3-3 against the 3-4.
Yeah,
Pretty strong play there from Gerry.
I agree. So now Will
Take
needs
advantage, strike while the iron's hot, while his
Right.
opponent's tapped out.
It's interesting because Will knew Gerry had the sword, right? So and it seemed like
I don't know why he equipped there.
right, he just kind of wasted mana. So there's a divine offering for Gerry's sword, and of course Gerry knew he had that, but at least I guess in this case
he
Jerry's
got
forcing him to play it.
He got the threat off the board, because he doesn't really have a blocker for a Squadron Hawk.
Exactly.
And he forced him to tap his mana so that he couldn't equip the sword this turn. And he draws his Sword of Feast and Famine off the top of his deck.
Gerry just did. I missed it. I
Yeah,
couldn't
he
see
sure
what
did.
did.
He
Wow.
sure did.
Like a master.
Or wait a minute.
Did you see that wrong? Okay, you did. So that's
No,
there
he's
is,
got
there
it.
is,
Okay, I was gonna
Wow.
say I thought he did it. Then I saw the marsh flats right where it used to be, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm dumb. Okay, so he plays the sword. Oh man,
Equip it.
it's coming
Equip and
right
swing,
in.
yeah. Come back at
Turns
you.
it sideways
I mean,
as he puts it on.
yeah, I love that.
Holds up, at least representing Mana Leak here. Don't think he has it. No, he's got lands in his hand.
So Will
Wilson's-
he had a second divine
Another divine offering. All right.
Well,
I was gonna say, Will looks like he's against the ropes right here, but we got a match, folks.
he's basically trading Squadron Hawks and divine offerings for Swords of Feast and Famine, like
Yeah.
in the last few turns. Gerry's basically, getting rid of the Squadron Hawks and a copy of Divine Offering, but of course Will has several Squadron Hawks ready for battle. So. So. Gerry fetching with the marsh flats. Grabs a swamp. So yeah, that's what I figured. Turns both tar pits into guys and comes in for 7.
Can edge one, but he can't edge them both.
One gets the edge, and Will takes 4. Will has been steadily gaining life there. Not steadily exactly, but the 2 divine offerings really
Counteracted any early damage from Gerry.
pumped his life total, padded his life total quite a bit. Personally, I do feel like the blue-white classic Callblade version is the better choice for the for the metagame, but he needs to find a way to break the mirror, and so that's what I'm kind of curious to see if Will manages to do that here, because this is essentially the mirror. Gerry's got black to break the mirror, so meantime Will just equips his Squadron Hawk and goes in, hits Gerry, connects for 3. Gerry dumped his, I believe he had another land in his hand. It's hard to see his graveyard, but Will gets to untap his lands and play his final Squadron Hawk. And now he actually moves the sword, has one hawk hand the sword to the other. So, Gerry's turn. Gerry says, looks like he's considering the tar pit sequence again. Yep, just in with the tar pit. Gerry says, I can kill you in 6 turns with this tar pit. I just need to be able to live those 6 turns.
Yeah.
Gerry
He is
does have
holding a Doom Blade, yep.
right, which is kind of irrelevant against the. It's very irrelevant against the hawk holding the sword.
Yeah.
But if Will attempts to re-equip Gerry has that opportunity to kill a hawk. He can also, of course, Doomblade the hawk when it tries to pick up sort of body and mind, which is a likely play here from Will. Yep. Let me see, does he want to Doomblade it now? I mean, he can Doomblade it at any point.
He can.
So, in with swords and birds.
See, folks, swords are not for decoration.
Is that a reference to something I didn't get?
Yeah, cautionary tales of swords.
All right. So,
Discards of marsh flats. Mills 10.
Mills 10, yeah. Lets them both in. Now that's interesting. I mean, is he just thinking that, maybe he thinks Will has a mana leak for the Doomblade? So, all right. Well, that may be something that Gerry wants to eat a Doomblade.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
I think
that's a good play right there.
one of my favorite.
Sun Titan for Tectonic Edge.
One of my favorite plays was Sun Titan, getting back the edges and just stripping people's lands.
Right. So now Gerry is going to lose his Creeping Tar Pit. But yeah, I was going to say, like, end of turn, Doomblade the Titan.
Right,
so,
now he's got the opening.
Right, so he can still get in for one more turn with the Creeping Tar Pit, but he's likely to lose it very soon.
I would say, yeah, scoop him up. Yeah, it seemed
Gerry doesn't see
a little unwinnable right there for Gerry.
It was just looking bad. He just was, like you said, he was so mana flooded.
Right.
And, even though he was treading water there, like staying in the game.
He definitely had a strong opening, but Will seemed to have the staying power.
Mm-hmm. I mean, getting that Tectonic Edge back to basically, take Gerry's only hope at winning that game.
Yeah.
I think that was
now what sort of changes will Gerry make to his Game 3 sideboard plan?
It just shows you the power of the Sun Titan version. Even though it would only manage to do one thing, manage to get one card back. Like that was enough to really win the game. It also ate a Doomblade, so technically, it was a way to get the card advantage, get some card advantage out of it, just 2 cards worth, right?
Right.
So, I wonder if Gerry sided in his own Sun Titan. We didn't see it there, but. So Will's showcasing the new Star City sleeves.
They're available for $4.99, I believe, at the booth, right? Or at not at our booth. Don't come over here asking us for sleeves. We have enough trouble with people coming over here. Is this where we pay pairings for EDH? Yeah. No, you don't sign up for EDH here. We have microphones in front of us. Stay tuned for featured guests of the first person who comes over here asking us if this is where they sign up for side events.
I think we're a little safer this time, just by where we are.
We are a little protected here.
Yeah,
we have a table buffering us.
Yeah, and
a moat. We have a real life moat here.
Yeah,
with our monitor and our camera set up. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I think this moat is probably even more expensive than a real moat. The camera's pretty expensive, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I was thinking the moat is just the space between the tables. I think that's cheaper. But
yeah, space is probably cheaper than electronics.
So yeah. Anyway,
words of wisdom there from the Joes.
So it's another thing. I wonder if Will sided in Mortar Pot as well.
Yeah.
The fact that he wrote it as Mortar Pot is driving me crazy because I want to correct it on his deck list with my pen.
Yeah.
But it just seems, it's just such a good card alongside those Squadron Hawks, and to be able to take out Gerry's Squadron Hawks seems like a good plan.
So
we saw Laskin do that.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago in DC.
And Gerry leads off with a Glacial Fortress, and then Will follows with an Island and a Preordain.
Here we go, Gerry with the Inquisition.
Blank, blank, blank. Sword, Mortar Pod, Preordain.
Yeah, that's some choices right there.
Yeah.
But there's the Mortar Pod. I was expecting Will to bring it in, but since we didn't see it last game. So now Gerry has quite a...
He doesn't really have much action, though, Will.
right, he
doesn't.
has no way to equip... I mean, the mortar pod's going to come down with the germ and it's going to be able to do 1 damage to something, but, other than that, there's nobody to pick up those swords or the mortar pod, the germless mortar pod.
Right, yet.
However, he can play the mortar pod and equip the... he could play the mortar pod and equip the Sword of Feast and Famine to the germ.
True.
Making it significant. So, but Gerry chose to take the Preordain, and preordains his plays a Preordain of his own. I think he said Jace Glacial Fortress.
Yes, he's going to take the Jace. It looks like put the Glacial Fortress on top. Or no, okay, he's shipping them both. It looked like he was setting them up to go on top. Whatever.
I think I can't see what the rest of Gerry's hand looks like. So
here comes the mortar pot.
There's the mortar pod and the germ.
Mortar pot gets a germ dice. At least you can turn the mortar pot sideways. We've got a duress
Gerry's
here.
got the duress. Yeah. See, and I thought I saw another black card in Gerry's hand
Yeah.
that may have been another discard spell. In this case, now he can choose any of that. Is that a divine offering?
That is a divine offering, yeah.
But he said take the Jace. And,
Yep.
seems like a good plan. Play a Stoneforge Mystic, get a sword.
Will follows up with an island. And drops his Sword of Feast and Famine.
So now next turn, Will can equip that sword to the germ. Not that that's necessarily what he may want to do. He may have to be worrying about something else from Gerry, because Gerry's got a sword of his own and now a squire to equip it to.
But he does have the divine offering in his hand, but so he might not be able to. Well, if he drops into the land next turn, he can equip and
divine offering,
and
right?
Divine offering.
So Gerry says, "I'm going to play Jace."
Oh, I was like,
Yeah, for 3 mana, no, he fetched.
Okay. Fetches up a swamp. Lots of awesome basic land artwork. Bounces the germ, very smart.
Yep.
I was gonna say he's gonna
Of course.
Doomblade in his hand, and that's
Right.
that germ is not going to die to Doomblade. There you go, Doomblade guy, you win one.
So yeah, of course, Will uses the germ, uses the mortar pod and the dying germ to take out a piece of Jace's loyalty.
Just let me die. And Will passes back. Nothing to equip his sword to now.
Yeah, so that was a great play by Gerry.
Yeah. And Gerry
Leaving Will
brainstorms
with
into
just nothing,
Sun
yeah.
Titan,
Yeah, there we go.
Duress, and something else. Looks like a Squadron Hawk maybe, but I can barely see it. Whatever's behind the Titan. Yeah, it's a Squadron Hawk.
Good call. Now I'm going to duress you. Yeah,
Man,
triple
so much disruption.
1 mana discards. Yeah. And the funny thing is the Inquisition had. The Inquisition started things off, and then he knew, with the duress that he could take a Jace and possibly a Day of Judgment now. Stoic Rebuttal.
Mm-hmm.
I know Will did have or does have a Day of Judgment in his hand.
Oh, does he have Mana Leak? Yes, he does. So he can go counter right
he's
back.
trying to decide if he wants to, What are you protecting over there? It's Day of Judgment and Divine Offering, so he loses the Divine Offering, which gives Gerry the option of... basically Jerry's protecting his sword here.
Right.
Now Will can Day of Judgment if he wants to try to keep Gerry off of guys to equip the sword to. But
he has Creeping Tar Pit.
Right.
So once he gets enough mana active, he can activate and equip.
Right, but Gerry now has plenty of guys.
It looks like a Chinese Squadron Hawk
Yeah.
that Gerry just played.
Holds the swords same way the English versions do. Maybe Japanese.
It could be, I'm not sure. I can't really see specifically. And even if I could see, I'm really bad at determining which one's which. Like the languages are just I don't know. I don't speak any of those languages. So anyway, Brainstorm with Jace.
Looks like he put the Squadron Hawks back. Good call. That's, you know, that's the power of that interaction between those two cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will can't Day of Judgment. He doesn't have double white.
Ah.
I didn't even see that.
There we go.
He didn't have double white. Good call.
Yeah, Will seems to be against the ropes here. Flashes in the Feast and Famine at end of turn via Stoneforge Mystic's ability. He's going to call again.
Yeah. I'm just going to grab this one off the top that I knew was already there. All right. Red Hawk now has the sword. Life totals are pretty high right now, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be that way for long.
It looks like Jerry's about to start bashing away at Will's life total. Will needs to draw some sort of answer here. Needs that second white source to stay in this game at this point, right?
Yeah.
Now he's fate sealing.
And Jerry's
Here we
fate sealing
go.
to try to keep him off that white source.
Things are looking grim for Mr. McClanahan right now.
But yeah, this is what we said. You know, the black splash is the way to break these mirrors. So
Yeah, Will stuck on 4 lands is really rough, and Jace is not going to make that any easier.
there's the tar pit coming alive.
Team swing.
Wow. So what is it? 3,
For
6,
8.
7, 8. Yeah. You've got to turn, Will, pretty much.
Yeah,
Those equipment aren't so good when you don't have any guys. You know,
it's true.
he gets the untap the tar pit.
Yeah. And he's got a mana leak in hand, it seems. Lets him keep his card.
He says,
Which is
"You can
never
have
a good sign.
it." Yeah. Yeah. And it's a Stoneforge Mystic. Says, you can keep your Stoneforge Mystic. Obviously, Will knows, like, Jerry didn't accidentally let me keep this
Right.
Stoneforge Mystic on top.
Will is searching up a miracle in a sleeve right now.
Yeah. It's like, obviously, Jerry has a way to deal with this. I believe it's a Doomblade that Jerry has. I'm not sure, but
And he scoops it.
yeah. He didn't have double white or even a 5th mana in general to be able to play that Gideon. Or the Day of Judgment. Obviously, the Day of Judgment would have been nice too, but none of that was going to happen while Jerry was holding the mana leak, so.